Hello, mortals! This is the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube, and this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag and chat with you about books and whatever. So we have Lynette here. Thank you for joining us, Lynette, as per usual. I'm so happy to see you every Saturday. So if anyone else is here, please say hello. Otherwise, it's just you and I, Lynette. So I want to get started on the eyes. I think the eyebrows are kind of interesting today. They're a little bit bigger than usual. I want to map out the eyes. So, Lynette, remember last week? Oh, you finished Babel? 4.5 out of 5. I definitely gave it 5 stars. I thought it was one of my favorite reads in a long time. But I can see, pacing wise, I can see if some people might figure it was slow, because I think there was maybe from the 1/3 point to the half point, it didn't seem like too much was happening. Mooney's here, yay! So I could see if people had trouble with the pacing was my only concern. I guess concern's not the right word, but where I could feel that it could have some issues. But like I said, I thought it was fast paced for me, mostly because even in the section where like not much was happening in Cambridge, Oxford. I kind of enjoyed that. I kind of enjoyed when the group of friends were just enjoying Oxford. Okay. Yay, cool gamers here. I was this week at a book event in your county, the Hebrew translation of Felix After All. Oh, I read that. That's by Case and Calendar. My only thing is I'm not crazy about romances, and I wasn't crazy. I don't want to spoil the book, but oh, wait a sec. I'm thinking of Felix Ever After. Felix After All. Is that a sequel? Anyway, if it's a book I'm thinking of, the one by Case and Calendar, the first Felix book, it did have a tough scene of the bullying or the online bullying. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I'm doing good. On the 3rd of November, you're going, oh, Nepal. Wow. Thought the world was interesting in Babel. I thought the characters were a bit bland. Really? Oh, I didn't think they were bland. Hey, Lori. Yay. Thank you so much for joining us. Sandra's here. Yes, thank you for coming. You said name. Well, don't worry about spelling. Children of Men, the movie was better. Oh, interesting. It's always interesting when the movie's better. Okay, so I got to shape out these eyes. So, oh, so last week I don't know if you were here. I was like getting all set to go out in drag to the Las Vegas Book Festival. And I was all ready, everything was set. And my husband was saying, there's a storm warning. And this is an outdoor event. And I looked out the window. There's palm trees, of course, in Vegas that were like bent over in the wind. I was like, you know what? We're not going. So that was a bummer. Okay, so I like going. I'm going to take it way up high. See the shape of my eye. I never get a nice shape. Okay, let me try something different. I'll just go with this. Okay. The movie was different. Basic premise and the characters were the same. Reading Sappho, lesbian poetry. Humans can no longer have children. Last baby was born 25 years before the book. Oh, you know what? Okay, now it's just clicked. I have seen that movie. Yeah, I did like the movie. Yeah, the book festival was a bust. Okay, so colors. I'm going to, oops. I think I'm going to go with reds and oranges and yellows. So we'll try a sunset look today. I guess we'll start light to dark. So I am reading, I need to look up the name of this author. Okay, the author's name is Theodora Ozaki. I don't really recommend this. I was interested in reading, kind of getting into my heritage and reading Japanese fairy tales or Japanese folklores. And Theodora Ozaki lived or was published like 1900, but what's interesting about her is you should look her up on Wikipedia or something because she's a pretty interesting life. She was the daughter of, they called him a Japanese baron and an English woman. So she was half Japanese, half white, just like me, but she was born, 120 years ago, something like that. But she grew up with her mother in England and then later moved to live with her father in Japan. And she was very happy in Japan, but her father wanted to do an arranged marriage. So she decided she didn't want to do that. So she did like with a tutor or a teacher, and she eventually married, I think, the mayor of Tokyo. And that guy's really interesting too because he was very, very progressive for his time, and he was very much anti-war. So in both World War I and World War II, because he was a pacifist, they locked him up. It's like, what? But very interesting person, Theodora Ozaki. But anyway, I was interested in reading some Japanese folk tales or fairy tales, and she published some fairy tales in the English language that she translated, which, by the way, if you're interested, you can get them for free on Project Gutenberg and also LibriVox as free audio versions. But they're not like Western fairy tales. They feature animals a lot, and it's just taken for granted that bears and badgers and whatever talk. Some of them are a little bit dark, but I don't think anything as dark as like the Brothers Grimm. But also the plots are totally different than Western plots. Like they'll talk about this wrestling match between a bear and a rabbit and something else, or monkey, and suddenly the story shifts and you never hear anything else about it. It's like, well, it's like they'll set something up, but it's has nothing to do with the rest of the story, which is different. But she also did some works on or some translations of Japanese romances and something else, like Tales of the Samurai, something like that. But like I said, I don't really necessarily recommend them. Okay, so there's some yellow and orange cream, and I'm going to go to some white cream. Oh, I'm missing a lot of this. Have you ever read They Call Us Enemy? The author is the Charger who plays Sulu, George Takei. Is that a play? Because I read his autobiography, To the Stars. George Takei. The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. Yes, I am reading a fantasy. You know, that title is familiar, but I'm not sure why it's familiar to me. It's pretty rare. Graphic novel Wayward. Oh, yeah, I don't like abridged books. You know, I haven't read a graphic novel in a long time. Mostly because I'm just using Kindle, and Kindle sucks for anything illustrated. I haven't read a lot of Japanese myths, folklore, sagas, but a lot of my latest faves have been Japanese authors. The Memory of Police by Yoko Ogawa saved me from a long reading slump. Oh, cool. I like that title, Memory Police. I haven't read that one. Ooh, this red is dark. Oh boy, as usual, looks more blended in person. I'm gonna Oh, is cappuccino here? No. I haven't tried to read manga until the coffee gets cold. It's about a cafe in which you can go back and time it only while you have a coffee. I like that. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, the reason why I asked for if cappuccino was here is because I know she's a Doctor Who fan. And I don't know if you guys Doctor Who fans? Um, I was, maybe everyone knows this, but I was actually going to do a video on it because I didn't realize that the next Doctor Who is going to be David Tennant, who is a popular older Doctor. And they're just bringing him back as a sort of a transition storyline. But I'm really excited about Doctor Who now because I was not into it after this last actor, Jodie Whittaker, and not because she's a woman, but because I thought the writing wasn't as strong as I was used to for Doctor Who. Love Doctor Who, yay! I love Doctor Who, but haven't watched the new seasons. Don't bother. David Tennant for 3 specials. Yeah, so you guys know, I'm really excited about it. I do want to see the last episode with Jodie Whittaker. I guess she's the 13th Doctor. David Tennant's going to be the 14th Doctor. He's also the 10th Doctor, so it's like, I guess something happens with his regeneration. And then the new actor is going to be the 15th actor, who is a black man. And I didn't realize this, but he's the actor. There's this Netflix series called, what am I doing? Not paying attention. There's a Netflix series called Sex Education, where he plays a gay, very out gay man, and it's a really fun. I liked it. I liked that Netflix series. But my only thing is the Netflix series is he's a teenager, and I don't actually know how old this actor is, but I prefer my doctors to be a little bit older, so I'm like a little concerned that this the 15th Doctor is going to be a little young. But the pictures I've seen, he looks more mature than a teenager. But I guess I could look it up, how old this actor actually is. Okay, so there's my powder or creams. Really enjoy Jodie, but it's quite difficult to watch in Sweden, so I've missed the last season. See, maybe it got better because I started watching it when she first came on, and I was like, I wasn't getting into it. There was like this giant wasp episode, and I was like, and I think there was a dinosaur episode I wasn't into. So I don't know, maybe it got better. Star Trek and Doctor Who you watch with your family when you were 5 years old. Oh, I love those memories. I love the fact that an original character from the first Doctor had a cameo. The actor's 97. Wow. Yeah, the first Doctor was in the 60s. By the way, I may be old, but I'm not that old. I started watching Doctor Who during the Tom Baker years, who, It's the best doctor ever. And I watched it through Sylvester McCoy when they canceled the series. But I've also rewatched, I think on PBS or some channel was showing some of the older doctors way back when. And I did like the doctor just prior to Tom Baker. I forgot his name, but he had John Pertwee. He had like the white pompadour, and he was very unusual for any of the doctors because he was a swashbuckler. He was the most physical. Like usually you think of Doctor Who and you think of him, besides the War Doctor, but we won't get into that. But he's usually very much of a pacifist, except for the John Pertwee version where he was like doing sword fights. And okay, anyway. Oops. So for yellow, just I am that old. You watched the first Doctor. Actually, I probably could have, but in the United States, I don't believe it was even aired here until the 70s. I don't think it was even possible to see the first couple Doctors in the U.S. Hey, DK Moon, watched some Tom Bakers when you were a teen in the 70s, 80s. Yeah. I had no idea about this Doctor Who show, but in Maryland at the time, it was shown not on public TV, but one of those like independent stations. And it was a commercial station. So what they would do, because the PBS shows, I believe they were like exactly 30 minutes, but on US commercial television, you have to have commercials. So what they would do is they would take a 30-minute episode of Doctor Who and cut it in half and only show 15 minutes and then cram in 15 minutes of advertisements. It was crazy. It was like 10 minutes of advertisements, 10 minutes of Doctor Who. But I didn't care. I was just into the stories. It was always after school. I'd run home after school to watch 10 minutes of this program I'd never heard of. And I'm sure they were reruns, but they would, because they would show them daily. Okay, there's the, oh, I want a bright orange. I've had too many palettes. Ooh, hold on. Let me try this yellow. This looks really neon. It looks a little green though. Third Doctor was confined to Earth, right, with a broken TARDIS. I thought not using this. Yeah, I liked some of those shows because the Third Doctor is also when they introduced the Master, and there are some really good episodes with the Master and the Doctor in the third season. Special effects were so, yeah, those old. You did not watch Doctor Who for the special effects. I mean, even for the time, they were bad. Weeping Angels is one of the best villains. Were better than Blake Seven. Were they, Lynette? I love Blake Seven, by the way. Yeah, love Blake Seven. Fit to be Red's here. Yay. Okay, I need to go to orange. The speaking of the TARDIS, the Tom Baker's fourth, Pete Davidson's fifth, the sixth Doctor. I don't know what do you call them, showrunners or writers? I don't know what they were thinking, but they decided to, one, make the Doctor insane. There was like something wrong with his regeneration, and I did not like the insane Doctor. But the other weird thing they did was they decided to partially fix the chameleon circuit in the TARDIS. And the chameleon circuit is what keeps it looking like a police box. But for the, the sixth Doctor, Colin Baker, they decided that the TARDIS would change shape into like a piano or inappropriate things. So the chameleon circuit was still broken, but it no longer looked like a police box. That was like the worst mistake. The blue police box is just iconic for the Doctor. Why they would thought it was a good idea to change it is a mystery. Well, you're going to see the colors today. I've seen every single episode of Doctor Who, including all the missing episodes. Wow, Lynette. Wow, you are the OG fan. Well, they lost some episodes. Some of the early episodes of 1 and 2. And I did see there was one episode of of the Tom Baker fourth Doctor that was never completely shot. And it was the called Shardis. Saying that right? Sharda? But they pieced it together, and you can get it on Amazon Prime for like $2 or something. Where they pieced it together with some animated sequences. So you can actually at least see the story and see the pieces that they were able to save from the shoot. You know, the one thing I don't like about the reboot, I never really liked that the Time Lords all disappeared. I really never liked that story point with the big Time War and all the Time Lords lost to I guess part of it's interesting, but I just miss having Doctor Who not being the only one. Actually, I don't know if that's controversial or not. Whoa, I've really. um, okay, so we're going big today. We are going big. Back in the early 70s, they wiped over many Doctor Who episodes because they thought they would never be aired again. Doesn't that suck? That sucks so much. Hey, Cappuccino. Just finished it with a little one for your Storygraph, not a professional review. I've not seen The Power of the Doctor yet. Maybe tonight. See, okay, that's the last episode of the Jodie Whittaker, and I haven't seen it either. But I only can watch it on HBO Max, and they haven't released it yet. So, but I just whatever from my YouTube feed, I found out all about the David Tennant stuff. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited now that I know that. Oh, and the other thing I'm excited about, because again, I didn't like those, at least the episodes that I saw with the Jodie Whittaker 13th Doctor, I didn't think the stories were very good. The writing was all that great. But my understanding is for the 14th Doctor, the new David Tennant Doctor, they're bringing back one of the older story runners. So I think that's a very good sign. Okay, so I'm going to deepen this up. Of course, the biggest faux pas with the Doctors, in my opinion, is when Hollywood tried to reboot it. And when was that? The mid 90s. And so I think it was Fox. Once the Americans got their hands on it, I was so mad. I mean, I was looking forward to it so much. But what they did was just bizarre. And I hope that whatever they did wasn't canon. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not. I mean, one thing they did was they decided to make him half human, which is like, what? What are you doing? But I guess the biggest change story-wise was they decided to make him more of a romantic lead. And that is just, I want my Doctor to be asexual. I mean, and that's partly what makes him believable as an alien. I don't want my doctor to be too human, I guess is the point. Mm. Some of the missing episodes have been recovered over the years. Found in Australia, New Zealand, Nigeria, and Hong Kong. That is so cool. Russell T. Davies, thank you. Some of the recovered clips were scenes that censors cut out for airing in Australia. Really? God, I can't imagine. Maybe for violence, I guess, or being too scary. I mean, yeah, and I'm going to be okay with that because I get Disney Plus so long as Disney does not get to touch the production. Distribution is fine. If Disney Plus, oh, that's too bad. I thought it would be though, because aren't you part of the Commonwealth, or I don't know how Britain works. I know Australia's still gives. I mean, there's still some, I want to say ceremonial. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Disney Plus though, because I didn't think I would want like a children's streaming TV service. But I forget what show I wanted to watch where I decided to give it a try. And I haven't really been disappointed. Okay, do I look crazy enough? So listening today more than watching, long night. Oh. The ABC in Australia, government-owned TV, has been airing it from the start, and now they've lost it. I don't understand. Okay, so I'm thinking of cutting this with pink. Yeah. Pink. Maybe some red on the. Okay. I have a bunch of glitter. Oops. Oh, shoot. I dropped a palette and it looks like it broke apart. Okay, no glass broke, but all the little pins fell out. But I'll deal with that later. Okay, pink. Why not purple? I've been doing purple a lot. So I just want something different. My current watch is The Terror, based on Dan Simmons' book. It is horror, but based on true events. Why haven't I heard of that? Okay, I'm going to... Okay, I'm gonna have to get in there to apply this. Oops. Yeah, I think I did purple like the last 2 times. Oh, I did film Shelve It or Shove It last week, since I didn't end up going to the book fair. So that will be released probably on Tuesday. And then I thought I want to do something about it. I just want to talk about Doctor Who on video for a little bit. So maybe I'll release that on Thursday. But I also want to do a video on Nona the Ninth. I think that deserves its own video. I don't know if anyone likes it, but I've been doing those videos, top 10 reasons to read or not read, whatever. But still, my channel doesn't do that great with book reviews. Isn't that weird? I know Fit to be Read, your channel does great with book reviews, but I think my problem has always been my channel's been a little bit schizophrenic. I mean, I do Critical Role videos, I do book reviews, talk about TV shows. But what Fit to be Read has done, and he's probably more personable than I am, but that's another story. But he just focuses on science fiction. And they say YouTube channels that focus on one thing tend to do better. On one subject. Okay, so cut the lids. You like the top 10 list? Yay. What should I have for lunch? I don't know. Whatever you want. Peanut butter and jelly. How about that? I think reviewing several books at once is better than viewing a single book. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, thank you, Mooney. Always recommend your channel. Like when you see a cat. Maybe once a month, every couple of weeks, review a bunch at once, like Lynette said. Just ate pecans. Pecans and chips. Pecans are good protein. Wrap-ups rather than book reviews. Hey, Katie, thank you for joining us. Makeup is looking fun. Well, we'll see. I need to set this. Start with some white. I'm just doing red on the ends just to darken it. Okay. Homemade calzones. Lex, you must be a chef because those seem fancy. Sounds good. Need to make a top 11 list. Yes. The best. I was thinking about that, Lynette. I don't think I'm going to do a top 10 worst or most disappointing books this year because I was looking at my list of books and I don't think I have 10 that I would say are disappointments. I mean, I'm definitely going to do a top 10 best books, but I don't think I'm going to do disappointing books because I don't think I have 10. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's a definite thing. Oops. Oh, messy. Okay, so I mean, who knows? Maybe the next few months are going to be terrible reading experiences, and I'm going to have 10 disappointing books. But I don't know about you guys. For me, this has been a pretty good reading year. Where's my... There it is. Give the Prince Harry book a miss. I haven't even heard about it. I think I missed some stuff. You're not a chef, but you grew up around a family who loves to cook and bake sweets. Got a notification from Waterstones that Prince Harry's book is out. I haven't really heard much about it. I mean, it's not the type of book I would normally read. It's lots of tea. I thought it's weird, 50% off. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Okay. So doke. I'm going to go with start with some white glitter. I know it looks crazy on screen, but again, this StreamYard, I don't have like the high definition. So it looks better in person, we hope, than what you're seeing. Okay, let's do the other side. So I think my husband and I are going to go out and drag on Halloween. And I was thinking about, because you want to do something different than just regular drag. So last year I was the Star Trek Blue Alien. This year we were thinking about doing some type of like fairy queen, princess type thing. Okay, so there's the glitter. Oh, I need to get some water. Be right back for the old chroma cakes. Usually I am more prepared than this, but story of my life. Okay, so chroma cakes. Andorian, yes. Okay, well, if it may be in Shelve It or Shove It, so I'm going to keep quiet about it. Oh, 31 books, very good. Mindwalker by Kate Dillon. Steampunk. Sci-fi steampunk. I'm retired, so I have plenty of time for books. Read 38 books this year so far. I've read, I think I may be able to reach my Goodreads goal of 50 books, but I actually read a lot of middle grade, which is a lot shorter than your normal books. But okay. So that's what we're looking at. Oh, my husband and I did start watching the Drag Race UK version. We had to take a break from RuPaul. There's just, I mean, we did the Philippines because Dennis is Filipino and that was fun. But there's just so much Drag Race now. I never thought it would be, I would get tired of it, but there's just too much to keep track with. Okay, so got some eyeliner. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Here's my black pencil. Okay. Always late for brushing off this bake. Sorry, I'm not very talkative, trying to finish up this final eye stuff. Okay, so I think the eyes are done. I like this side much more than this side. This one has more of a... Okay, not going to worry about it. How are we doing? For nonfiction November, you have 2 books of letters from Titanic survivors and one of the letters between Charles II and Sister Manette. I'm not going to participate in nonfiction November, but that is great. Not using any of the prompts. Love reading books about collectors. Do you collect anything other than books? I like the prompts because I often select books outside of my usual reading topics. Live ships, it's been your favorite for the year. Yes, Tawny Man Book 3, but you like live ships better. It's such a unique mechanic. Robin Hobb's live ships, or mad ships, whatever. Lori, me neither. It's great to get some the nonfic on your shelves. I don't even buy nonfic. Secret prompt, you're reading a book about 4 lost cities, one of them Pompeii. Just read your first live ship book and I liked it a lot. Really opened up the world and many new interesting characters. So that's interesting. I want to read more about Pompeii. I actually was at Pompeii. For the element prompt, I will read either The History of Silver or one of the books about elements. Dennis and I, on our sort of big trip that we took, was to go to Europe. And where did we go? We went to Rome, Paris, London, and Amsterdam. So it was like your typical touristy tour of Europe. But when we were in Rome, we took a side trip to Pompeii. And you don't get, from like pictures you see, until you're there, you don't really get an idea of the scope of how huge Pompeii is. Or at least the ruins are. It was really, really interesting. Okay, I need to... trying to get this pink to show up. But yeah, if you're ever in Rome, I definitely recommend the side trip to Pompeii. Or you could do a whole holiday in Pompeii. Okay. So I think we're going to move on to, let me put a little bit of highlight on. Then onto lips. I don't know why I put on highlighter. I never see it. Lips. Oh, I see we're talking about collections. Collect quite a few things, including bookmarks, knitting Nancy's, spool knitters, old postcards. I bet the postcards are cool. And the bookmarks. Oh, my eye reminds me of a butterfly. Oh, I'll take that. I will take that. Vintage jewelry from Spain. Wow. Particular brand of scarves. Thimbles. DK Moon, lots of places to live in the world. Lesson is to live next to a volcano. Well, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't know. Like, I remember, God, when was it? When was Mount St. Helens? I guess the 70s, 80s, maybe 70s. But no one expected that thing to erupt, and it did. And of course, Hawaii is in continuous eruption mode. Okay, so, I'm going to break. I've been trying these cheap lipsticks because I just wanted to find a cheap lipstick, but I'm just going to go back and the more expensive lipsticks, just because I need something really matte, and everything is so sheer. And this Gerard Cosmetics is really good, but they're like $20 a lipstick. So I've been waiting all year for them to go back on sale. Because really, it's a big difference, a good lipstick from a cheap lipstick. Okay. And yes, you don't have to remind me, but I'm going to do the eyelashes. Here they are. Yeah, it's amazing how different the eyes look with the lashes. Okay. The only natural disaster I have to worry about is wildfires. You know, there's something everywhere. Like, who would have known I'm moving to Vegas? There's these sandstorms are really a thing, and floods, but mostly sandstorms. Mainland has serious flooding. Visiting your grand. Oh, really? You were there? Wow, you saw the ash fall. Wow, deep in Spokane. Wow, wow, wow. Australia does not have any active volcanoes. Oh, Sephora has a scale? But do they have good lipstick? Earthquakes are rare in Australia. Well, when I was in the Bay Area, it was earthquakes. Of course, it was earthquakes in California, but also wildfires. And you wouldn't believe how crazy those got. Because you would definitely, especially in Oakland, you could come out and see ash falling. The sky would turn like red and orange. It was like a scene from hell. This wasn't a sunset red and orange. This was like a hellscape red and orange and foggy. But the wildfires are, of course, also the result of the drought. Things just got so dry that the fires just went crazy. Yeah, you cannot tell me there's no such thing as climate change because you see it all around you. Okay. What's that? Okay. Okay, so these are the lashes on. Of course, my hand has this palette of color. And for a wig, I haven't worn this in a while, but it's this old blondie with the dark roots. So let's see how this is going to look. This is a lace, oops, this is a lace front. And I've said before, I'm not crazy about lace fronts because I don't like gluing down wigs, but sometimes they'll just sort of naturally hug your face. I'm also convinced my ears are funny shaped because the earrings never seem to hang quite right. Okay. Throw on some gloves. We're almost there. We're almost at the final look. Just put on some gloves and some. Let's see. Okay. So what do you think? This is the final look. It was supposed to be more of a sunset thing. I don't know if that really works. But once again, you know, I never really know until I shoot with the camera and not look through the StreamYard thing. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. You've seen those orange-red skies caused by fires quite often. Isn't that scary, Lynette? I think it's scary. Tasmania is very bushfire prone because we were about 42% forested. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love the wig. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Cappuccino. Oh, thank you. So I guess this is my butterfly look. Okay, guys, I need to go film some videos. I want to do that Nona video. And I want to talk about Doctor Who, just because I want to talk about Doctor Who. So hopefully we'll see you next week. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.